Pepsi. No Battle of the Bands. Saturday, August 23rd at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. The top HBCU marching bands in the country. Battlehead out on the field and in the stands. Featuring national talent, a fan experience, and a college fair. Supported HBCUs with over $1.7 million in scholarship. Tickets start at $25. The Pepsi National Battle of the Bands also sponsored by Walmart and JP Morgan Chase. For more info, visit nationalbattleofthebands.com and download the National Battle of the Bands app from the App Store. See you in H-Town.
What's up, Bandheads? How y'all doing? So, welcome to Hanging with the Bandheads, episode number 4. Sorry about that. Where we shine the spotlight on movers, shakers, and history makers of the marching band world. I'm your host, Jay Law, and today's guest is a true pioneer, a man whose influence reaches far beyond the field, Jabari Morgan. Jabari Morgan has dedicated his platform to inspiring and promoting the future leaders of our band community. And if that wasn't enough, he played an instrumental role in bringing one of the biggest stages in the Showstyle band history, the National Battle of the Bands, right here to Houston, Texas in 2014. From shaping opportunities to building legacies, Jabari's story is one every bandhead needs to hear. And without further ado, I'd like to bring to the stage Mr. Jabari Morgan. Welcome to Hanging with the Bandhead, sir. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good, man. Pleasure for you to be here, man. Appreciate you having me.
Oh, man. Always a pleasure to have you around. So we're going to get this show off the ground, and we're just going to get right into it because you know I don't like to waste y'all time. So we're going to start off like we start off with everybody else. We need your band facts. What's your band pedigree?
My band facts is I am a crab member of the Southern University Human Jukebox class of 1996 under the illustrious direction of Dr. Isaac Greggs, the legendary, the GOAT of all band directors. Many stories and so many things learned from Dr. Greggs during that time, but 4 years there, section leader, and just a band head all the way through, a band guy all the way through. So, but that's why I started. Got my start, and I was second generation. My dad actually marched in the Human Jukebox. He was a crab in 1966, so I was 30 years later in 96. So second generation juke is what they say now, but it was old heads when we was in the
band. Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So that's a pretty nice pedigree and your legacy.
Legacy.
All right.
My dad marched on the Freeman, which was the band director right before Dr. Greggs. So.
Oh yeah, the Counts of Sounds. I think wasn't they called that or something like that?
Yeah. It definitely wasn't Human Jukebox.
It definitely wasn't that. Terry and the Pirates. All righty. So take us back to where it all began. Okay, what made you get involved with this level of marching bands?
Well, I mean, hey, marching band. I mean, band has been a part of my life since before I could even remember walking. I started taking percussion lessons when I was 5 years old from another Juke, Alton Bates, who marched in the band with my dad, right? So that's how I learned to read music, playing percussion as a 5-year-old, right? But being around music my whole life, being from Baton Rouge and, seeing Southern's band from a young age, that's all I wanted to do. I didn't want to go anywhere but to Southern, right, and be in the band. So throughout elementary, middle school, high school, everything was a mission and a step to get to the promised land of being in the Human Jukebox. So I started at 5. I started playing percussion at 5. And then when I got to middle school, I played trumpet, baritone, tuba. I made an honor band on tuba in 8th grade, actually. But when I got to high school, I went back to drums. I was playing drums the whole time, playing set in church and stuff like that. And then when I got to high school, I went back to drums, and I just stayed there all the way through. So played tenor drum in high school at Capitol High in Baton Rouge.
Okay.
Yeah, decal
red
line.
and gold, right?
Red and gold, yeah. I was
Yes,
second
sir.
generation there too, because my dad graduated from Capital. So I kind of like I followed him. Like he was in the band at Capital, and I was in the band at Capital. He went to Southern, and I was in Southern. So 30 years apart at Capital, 30 years apart at Southern. That's our story. And so
Oh,
my
wow.
mom and my sister both went to Schuylerville. So we had that Baton Rouge rivalry in our house.
I bet.
Yeah, back between Schuylerville. Because, when my dad was in the band in the 60s, Southern University's band was made up of Capitol High, Schuylerville, McKinley, and those are the three main high schools that made up the band. At least 90% of the band was from Baton Rouge back then. So the transition to New Orleans kind of happened in the 80s. Well, probably late 70s, early 80s, and then 90s. We was in the 90s. It was predominantly, it was maybe about 80% New Orleans then, right? So, but no, so yeah, that's where it started. It started with Alton Bates teaching me how to read quarter notes and play rhythms, all the way up through playing horns, and then finishing out with drums, going to high school.
Okay, so that's your history with marching in the band and being a student and a participant. So now you have used your influence and your experience to help bring our HBCU Showstyle bands to the next level. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, hey, for the last 10 years, probably been longer than that. A little longer than that, but my mission is to promote music, arts, and education, because I know what music did for me. Bands. I tell companies all the time, anybody that I'm talking about our culture, marching bands, especially HBCUs. Well, HBCUs are cornerstones of the Black community, right? They are the cornerstones of our communities. We produce more doctors, lawyers, engineers, CEOs, entrepreneurs. Like, they're produced from HBCUs, right, at high numbers. It's not even comparable, right? But marching bands are microcosms of the university. So, when we were in the band at Southern, maybe 5% of the band was music majors, if that. I think that's kind of right. You have marketing majors, education, engineers, architecture. It's nursing. Pre-law, sociology. So it's a microcosm universe. So you touch every facet of a school with a marching band, right? But historically, we are so grossly underfunded, HBCUs period, and then marching band programs as a whole, because a lot of these schools really don't understand the brand equity that marching bands bring to the school, right? I just take Louisiana, and we get on to, I'm gonna belabor the point, but when you think of LSU, you think of football, right? When you think of New Orleans, you think of the Saints, right? That's the first thing that comes to New Orleans Saints. Or Mardi Gras, right? Could be a toss up. When you say Southern University, first thing that comes to mind is Human Jukebox. And I would even say broader from that would be from a Louisiana perspective, as ambassadors of the state. You know what I'm saying? So that holds value. That holds a branding presence that needs to be respected. And so for me, it's like, what can I do to add value to what we do in order to bring the resource that are so grossly needed to fund these underfunded programs. So.
Right, and that you did. Some of the
I don't know if we lost the host, but I'm still here. So let me tell you about the National Battle of the Bands. National Battle of Bands is happening next weekend, August 22nd through the 23rd in Houston, Texas. We have 8 dynamic bands that's coming to this city. Man, they're gonna rip that field up. They're so excited, well prepared, and we're just excited to host them here. So go to nationalbattlebands.com, get your tickets. You will be a part of extending scholarship support to HBCUs and helping us reach the 2,000 mark. I just went to a PSA for Battle of Bands while you
I clicked the wrong thing. I got too many screens open.
God damn it.
You're doing
Yeah,
a
boy.
good job.
Yeah. You did a good job. Yeah. Well, I was just telling people to get tickets for. I just started promoting Battle of Bands.
Thank you so much. I could just click the X on the screen and the screen went crazy. I just started screaming to myself, "What's wrong with you?"
No doubt.
Little boy. That is so funny. But what I was about to say is some proud moments that I've had myself when either attending or sitting with the National Battle of the Bands is seeing the money that they are giving back to HBCU, and that kind of ties in with what we're talking about with bands being underfunded. So and so let me ask you this: what was your biggest milestone you feel that you've reached during your journey while working with the National Battle of the Bands?
I think personally, because when I started working with the team, bands were getting like 10 to 15,000 a piece, which was which was substantial, compared to some other events that bands would do, right? Because there's all this paid trip, we fly 2 bands in, we bus all the, when they get here, everybody's on buses, we feed them, 3 times a day. They have no financial burden to come to our event, no matter where they're coming from, right? And I think from the things we've been able to do and the stakeholders we've been able to show the value of supporting music, arts, and education and supporting our HBCUs. Now we're at 50,000 a band, right? And even in this, so I think for me, like seeing that growth and that development from each band getting 10, 15,000, now each band getting 50,000. I think that was monumental for me to see, the impact of that. And this year, as a company, we will eclipse $2 million in scholarship funding back to HBCUs ourselves, just from our small little company, right? And so, that's from the support of fans, followers, corporations, city leaders, everybody that believes in what we're doing. I can remember when we first started this event in Houston, and nobody knew about us, nobody knew about professionalism, that nobody knew about how we operated, right? And the Texans was like, "Yeah, you can come in, but you can't be on this side of the stadium. You can't walk." I call it the inner sanctum of the Texas, like a locker room, like all the stuff in the lower. But like we did that Battle of Bands the first year on one side of the stadium, on the lower level, organizationally and structurally, right? Which was a challenge because you can't use all, you can't go in a circle. You got to do a figure 8. So we figured it out. But after they saw the impact, they saw the fans, they saw just how from an energy perspective and just from a community perspective, the impact it had. Like it's like now we come back and it's like, what can we do? How can we support you? What we can, like, we want to give you this, we want to give you that. So just to see that, and see the support we have, and to be quite frank, like we have other cities calling us. Like they're seeing because we have a $20 million economic impact to Houston with our event. When you think about the flights, the hotels, I mean, we have like 7 hotel properties. We serve 11,000 meals over the weekend. When you figure out feeding 3 bands, 8 bands 3 times a day. We have 2 local, but we feed them on a day of the event, 2 meals. So like when you start factoring all that and how many beds, 700 rooms, that you're paying for, and like 90 something charter buses, when you're moving bands around. So when you think about all that, that's economic impact to the community. And we're very intentional in, supporting our community and find vendors that we can sow into, that we have to buy food. So we try to find black caterers, black companies that can support us. From a science perspective, from T-shirts and things like that. Like, we support Black-owned businesses because we want to be we want to be mindful of the economic impact, because we don't own the hotels, right? But we own other areas of business that we need to make these events successful. So we try to find those pockets to support our community too. So I think that's probably one of the biggest, like you say, besides the scholarships, going from like, maybe 20,000 to like now like 250,000 in support back to Black-owned businesses that is affected by event or impacted by event. That's monumental for us.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. That's awesome. And I've just been in awe every year watching the production value go up
Mm-hmm.
every year with the event. Watching the concerts get better, entertainers that are picked, it seems like they're more engaging with the crowd year. It just gets better. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that they were bad the year before, but it just gets better. And then watching the kids be able to have this experience at the beginning of the year, first performance of the modern world, to be honest with you, which is pretty cool, that you're able to get all of those bands together to be able to do that at the beginning of the season. So shout out to Pepsi, shout out to you, Mr. Morgan, and shout out to Mr. Weber as well. Really good brother. Really
solid.
enjoyed
That's all
talking to him. Solid, bro. No matter what, he remember half my name sometimes because I don't see him that much. But
He bad with names.
He's still a good dude, man. He's still gonna stop. He's still gonna talk to you. All that stuff. He don't brush you off, none of that stuff. So I appreciate that about him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We the monumental part that you talk about kind of goes into our third question. Maybe it might be another part, something else you can share with us. What do you feel has been the most rewarding moment while working with the national events?
I would say, man, the most rewarding moment is probably our first year. We had maybe 20, almost 30 colleges recruited, because we do a recruitment fair right before the event. And the first year, you see students come through there, and to hear the stories of a student that maybe was looking at one school and then they got exposed to another school because they came to the college fair. And now we're starting to see students that were in high school that went to the college fair that are now members and on scholarship in the bands that's performing at our event. So that kind of full circle moment there is very impactful, right? And so you see, I know one young lady that was interested in going to Hampton, right? And she went to the college, and South Carolina State was there recruiting. And she got a full ride to South Carolina State on the spot. Because she came in, she was a part of D2D, Design and Dance with Tracy Davis and her group. She does a great job leading those young ladies. So they came with their transcripts. They came prepared, right? They had the cardigans on with their folders, with their transcripts. Like, they was like, look, we trying to get scholarship, we trying to get in school, right? And she got awarded a scholarship, and I believe she's either co-captain or captain of that squad at South Carolina State now, right? So now it's the next generation of leaders, right? So you expose them, you show them opportunity as leaders, and then probably the second thing would be I'm wearing my camp T-shirt. We started the high school band camp here in Houston because it's just a void in real structural training in the summer, and with the things that our local band directors and the ISDs go through from an art support perspective with the school districts, right? And so we're working to be advocates for that and combat that and try to support them in those efforts. But we had our band camp this year, and so this is our second year. So the first year, we had it at my church, at Fallbrook Church. They allowed us to use the facilities to do it, and I got a call from Jerome Law, right? I forget his name, right? Like, he said you. He said he was at the band camp, and he said to call you and vouch for his skills, right? And I was like, well, so I go back to my Dr. Greg days. I said, well, can he play? right? Nah, man, this kid can play. I said, oh yeah. But I remember the kid, and he's actually enrolled at Southern University. And
Okay.
he got exposed to Southern because Kenny Collins, the assistant director of bands at Southern, was the camp director for that camp, right? And I mean, he knew about Southern, but he got a connection to the staff, right?
Right.
And William Young, who was at Langston at the time, who's now associate director of bands at Southern, was also on that staff as well, right? So Director Young was the one that called me, and the young man's mother walked up to me at Farbrook on Christmas in July and thanked me for like motivating the son and exposing the son and just excited about the experience. So like those are the type of moments, man, that you can't you can't pay for that, man. Like
Right.
there's no amount of prestige or things like those type of like if you could change one, like who knows what that young man and young woman are going to be in the future. And just to say you had an opportunity to be positive in their life and expose the next generation to that, yes, that's one of those moments, man, where you're like, I want more of those. I want more moments like
Right.
that. Yeah.
Right. That's enriching, right? That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. So we are looking at August the 23rd. The 2025 Pep National Battle of the Bands returns to Houston NRG Stadium. So we got a whole weekend. We got the 22nd, the 23rd, and 24th. What's going on the 22nd?
So on the 22nd, we have our Emerging Experience Entrepreneur Conference. So it's a way that's presented by JP Morgan Chase. So it's I'll give back to the community from a business perspective to help small businesses like ourselves scale, connect with other business owners. How can you help my business grow? How can I support your services? You have this line of business, I have this line of business. What were some success stories? What were some things that you overcame as a business owner? And then from a banking perspective, like how can I get access to capital? How do I apply for loans? How do I build my credit profile for my business and not put everything on my personal, that may affect my family. And so those are the valuable tools that I learned there. I mean, every year that event has gotten bigger and bigger and more effective. And so excited about the panels that we have this year. And we actually have a panel that's speaking to the entrepreneur, the HBCU experience to entrepreneurship. So we have some HBCU alums that's going to be speaking on this panel about how the HBCU experience helped them as an entrepreneur. And I can speak very adamantly about that because that's my life as well, right? From being an HBCU student and experiencing what I went through at Southern and the matriculation now as a business owner. So that's exciting. So that's that. And then Saturday morning, and we do this in every market that a band comes in. We have a feed the homeless outreach through our National Battle Bands Cares project, right? And so we have every year it's gotten bigger. I mean, the first year we did 100 meals. Last year we did 300 meals. I think this year we're trying to shoot for 500 meals that morning that we feed the homeless, and we give them personal care items, and we have so many people that's volunteering that want to bring things, living items that they may need, blankets, pillows, those type of things they may need to try to support those who's going through an unfortunate time. And then from there, from 12 to 3, we have our fan experience. So we used to have our step and stroll at the night before. So now we move everything to one day to have this big, excited, fan experience. So we have the college fair going on. We're almost up to, I think we're going to hit 45 HBCUs that's going to be here recruiting from all over the country, recruiting on the spot. We have some of our sponsored partners that's going to be there sharing some of the knowledge and things that they have. Chase is going to be doing financial literacy seminars and just helping students with that. The Army is going to be there supporting. And then we have our stroll off competition where we have $7,500 on the line, right? So the top team,
well, don't you put that wrong number out there.
the top team is going to walk away with $7,500. So that's pretty substantial. And then we're going to close it out with Flipper T, talking about affirmation. So Flipper T going to come in and perform and turn that thing out. So we're just excited about fan fans. Then from there, we walk over to the main event at the NRG Stadium. So that's our weekend, right? So we we empower the community through small business. We do our community outreach the morning of. We impact the youth with our college fair and doing the fan experience, and then we let the bands come do what they do to close us out. So it's a very, very fun packed weekend. And then from there you have folks that have brunches and they have all alumni. You get together. It's this kind of kickoff to the fall, right? So some of the presidents. So we fly every president in from every band. We pick them up from the airport, like first class service, right? Because we want to show them, hey, this is what your band, the value your band brings to your school, right? And so some of those presidents are using as opportunities to do fundraisers or reach their alumni in the city and stuff like that. So it has so many arms and legs that reaches far beyond our event that still impacts the HBCUs that are attending. Yep.
Wow, this event has grown so much since 2014. It has grown so much. Again, we're talking about the National Battle of the Bands. They are in year 11. It's happening here in Houston, Texas, starting August the 22nd all the way through the 24th. And the bands that will be performing the National Battle of the Bands this year, you have the Alabama A&M Marching Maroon and White. You got the Albany State Marching Ram Show Band. You also have Florida A&M Marching 100. You got the Jackson State University Sonic Boom of the South. You got Langston University, the Marching Pride Band. You got North Carolina A&T, the Blue and Gold Marching Machine. You got Prairie View and Texas Southern bringing it home, the two home teams. So, man, it's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great show.
Great. All the band directors are excited. I was actually at North Carolina A&T last week. Doing some things with them with one of our partners, one of our sponsors, and I'm gonna tell you right now, and I was like, man, y'all just started practicing, and y'all sound like this. I was like, oh, yeah, you saw Jackson State march down the street with 1,000 people, so
1,000 people, everybody in Jackson, Mississippi, and
everybody in Jackson in the band now, and so, but nah, it's it's exciting time. Dr. Little is a good friend and. Mr. Carlton Wright over at A&M. Excited about Will Brooks and his band, man, at Albany State. This is a great state. And I can tell you, and Dr. Gardner and Langston would tell you, like, when they performed that National Battle of Bands that first year, they only had 150 students, maybe, right, in their band. Langston is coming to town with 310, buddy. Wow. Yeah, they up there. So this platform, he say all the time, this platform really exposed our program, and it lit a fire under the president then that came, and he was like, oh, I got to get more scholarships. I have to get more instruments. I need to get more uniforms because I want my band to look like these other bands, right? And so that's the whole purpose. Like, that's the whole purpose of what we do. Right. Like, it's a labor of love for us to make sure that we're helping the band directors, achieve the goals they want to achieve as professionals and music educators. So, this is a great opportunity, family event. Like, we keep our the cost of entry as low as possible because we want families to come and experience it. We see so many grandparents bringing their grandchildren. So it's definitely a family event. So we're excited about this year. Ticket sales have been great. In spite of all that's happened this year with DEI and all these different tariffs and all this different stuff that's been going on, for us to be consistent with our ticket sales, and the fact that everybody was like, oh man, Southern not in it, right? Because Southern University has normally been a participant, and we have so many bands that love to come to our event, and we love to have. I wish I could have a battle band event where I could bring them all, but we'll be in there all night, right? So you can only have so many time. Because we try to keep our production tight because you don't want to keep folks in the space too long, right? And it's very, very structured. How we move the bands, how they play the next band. Like, we're very, very timely. We've had so many planning meetings with the band directors. Our team of over 100 folks have gone through training to make sure, like, every year, and we're looking for, like, every okay, what did we do this year? How can we do it better? How can we improve the experience of the event goer, right? We survey folks that come. I remember the first year when I talked about some of the pain points we didn't have enough gates open, right? Because the Texans, at the time it was our first year, they didn't anticipate that type of crowd, right? And so it was like
Right.
trying to get everybody in the stadium, right? And so we solved that problem, right? So now we have multiple gates open,
Right.
even enhanced security protocols the NFL now has. Because that's another thing, we used to have bands warming up outside, but it's August now. It's been getting hotter, so they can't be,
Can't do that in Houston.
get y'all inside as fast as possible. So, but excited, man. I appreciate the support you've always given. From a videographer perspective, from a creative perspective, from a content perspective, and just overall support from the platform that you have and sharing what we're doing for the students. Sponsoring. I thank you personally and openly for sponsoring band camp students the first year. I remember you personally paid some registration fees along with some other folks here in Houston for students to attend, right? And so it's those things that impact. We had that same thing this year. We had a lot of folks that paid for those students to attend the camp, because everybody's economic situation is different, right?
Right.
So just we try to make it as impactful as possible. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Dr. Javon Paula did the staff he assembled, Mr. Washington and directors from around the city, man, they did a phenomenal job of being at that camp and really instructing those kids. And like the biggest complaint we had was it wasn't long enough. Like it was 3 days. So I'll take that. I'll take that negative feedback. So that's what we're about. We're about community. We're about uplifting the community. We are about being substantive in the environments that we are, man, and bringing some type of positive value to the young lives through music, arts, and education.
Yeah, and I thank you guys for all of your diligent hard work in doing that. It's not like when you make it, reaching down to bring somebody back up with you. That's what it's all about. That's how we build strong community. That's how we build great culture in what we're doing. And I appreciate you and again, and Mr. Weber, all the hard work that y'all doing. And we got the interview out of the way now. It's time to get to a little bit of foolishness. I got 2 more questions.
Oh, here we go.
Oh man. So
he's being serious too much.
All right, sounding crazy. All right, so we got a segment of the show called "I Ain't No Rat, but That Was Messed Up." So basically, you got to tell us about a time that was funny, or messed up, or maybe both. Tell us about this, but you can't say no names because we ain't ratting on nobody. But this situation was really messed up. On you.
Man, I can remember a time where there was a band director that got a band all hyped up about going to an award show and practice this band. They were going to be, playing alongside another well-established group that had a tenure in the music industry. And this band practiced so hard and so long to be a part of this major award show production and got all the way to the airport. And unfortunately, I don't think the award show or the producers or whatever had finished paying for the transportation. So those students, unfortunately, didn't make the trip. They saw the plane, but couldn't get on. I ain't saying no names. That was messed up.
That was messed up. Yeah, he ain't no rat, but that was messed up. Oh my God. But it ain't happening with the National Ballad Band. Don't get you there.
No. All deposits have been played. Now we're not God, so we can't. We pray for good weather, and we've been looking at the rail report. Everything looks good, but that was. I mean, that's pretty messed up. It was funny. It's funny now you think about
it. It's bad when you're on the tarmac and
it's bad when you're on the tarmac and you see the plane. Like you see the plane. It's so big they had to stop the other planes from coming in. You going up the steps.
Oh wow!
You going up the steps. It's what I heard allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly.
I think I've heard that story before too.
Yeah. Yeah. So
all right. So
I got one more. I got to tell you. I think about it.
Okay.
I got one more. So
let it fly.
Another thing that was kind of messed, man, probably messed up, man. a band went overseas, right?
Okay.
And they ended up staying in a military barracks, right? Because that's the housing that the government or whatever they was going to celebrate this country's independence had set up.
Mhm.
So the band students are thinking that everybody's on this military base with no in a food desert with cafeteria closed, and you're hungry at night, nothing to eat. And then you looking around and you're looking for other members of the organization, particularly the auxiliary squad and the head band director. You don't see them, but allegedly they were down the beach at the Royal Sylvester.
So the band director and the auxiliaries are at the resort, and the musicians are sliding down there in the barracks.
Coming it out.
That is
Keeping it real.
groovy. Oh, yeah, that's kind of messed up. But we ain't no rats, so we
ain't saying no names.
That is hilarious. All right,
Yeah.
so the last segment of our show is called Making the Band. So basically, you're going to build your perfect band, starting from the woodwinds all the way down to the percussion. So I'm going to walk you through this. All right, with the woodwinds, piccolos, who you got?
Piccolos, woodwinds. I can pick like any band, any year, I can mix it up.
Any band, any year.
All right, piccolo, woodwinds. That's piccolo. That's all woodwinds, right?
Yeah.
I would have to go with Southern University's band year 1996.
Okay, that was a great year. That was a great
strong
year.
All right. Yep.
Strong woodwinds. Yeah. Shout out to Kenny Bone.
Yeah.
All right, trumpets.
Ooh, that's. I'm gonna go back to Southern.
Okay.
And I'm gonna stay in the 1990s.
Okay.
But I'm gonna pick this year, 1996.
Okay.
Shout out to 8 Ball. Shout out to Red
Burger.
and Burger.
Yeah. All right, let's go baritones, trombones, and French horns. Let's just put them all together. Who you got?
Lord, okay, baritone, trombone. Man, now you're getting. Yeah, now euphonium, not this new stuff, not this new wave stuff.
Not this stuff. Baritone.
Yeah, baritone. Man's horn. I'm gonna go Southern University, fall 1996.
Wow, you really like that year.
Thomas
Okay,
Gibbs,
all right.
And 8 Ball and William and even Alpha Grow from that.
Even Alpha Grow.
It took him a year to grow. He ain't sound good.
Uncle Al.
Yeah.
To 96. All right, tubas. Who you got?
I'm gonna let you pick tuba. You know what?
I think I'll join you in the 90s.
Yeah.
And say Southern University, fall 1996. Yeah. That's a good year,
That's
right
a perfect
there.
band, man. Yeah, you can't.
Shout out to
the drum major from 1996. And it's like it's you got the leader, the band director, the 2 assistant band directors. Now they the goats. They the goats. You know, they goat status. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Mr. J, Mr. Knight, and don't forget Goose. Goose was the man. What about percussion? Who you got?
Now I got to go deep into my bag on this one because there were a lot of great years across different bands. You know, a lot of people featured pretty good hush and stuff like that. But I'm gonna wrap it up and go Southern University, fall 1996.
And to all y'all bandheads out there, Jabari is my crab brother. We both are crabs of fall 1996 from Southern University. Well, again, we marched under the illustrious Dr. Patty Isaac Griggs.
Yes.
Benjamin Patty Griggs.
Yeah.
Starred on the movie Sounder. He's a star. Yeah. Was your band director on a famous movie? No, mine was. What did he tell that boy? Get away from here.
At 5 seconds
You
in that
just been
movie.
juked.
At 5 seconds in that movie.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Oh my goodness, man, CB, it has been awesome having you on here. Thank you for enlightening us with everything that's going down with the National Battle of the Bands. It's good for people to hear about some of the things going on in the background and things outside of what's
absolutely.
happening on the field. And you've done a great job of illustrating that for us today. If you're coming in town, try to get here and try to get here the day of the event and get on the property when
Yeah.
everything opens up. Go check out the college fair. Go check out everything that's going on. Go check out the stroll. It's the stroll, right?
Yeah, stroll off. Yeah, they
Uh,
call it stroll off.
the stroll out. Yeah, go check out the stroll off
Fan
and
experience
hear
gonna be
on here.
popping.
Oh man, I know it. I know
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. Wait, y'all gonna have 803 fresh? No, I'm just playing.
He was booked. I tried to get him. He was booked. I
Oh
tried.
man, but you know they would be flat, 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 flat. That's all they
He's
be
still gonna be there whether he in person or not, because they gonna play that song.
Yeah, most definitely,
Yeah,
most
man.
definitely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just I'm grateful to see that marching band being showcased on this level.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the new levels you guys are gonna take it to. Only thing that I would suggest as a band head, and I'm not a percussionist, but I would suggest this. Maybe the night before, get a high school stadium or something like that
Yeah.
and invite the drum sections from
Mm.
each band. Houston, Texas is a drummer city. The drum competitions sell out faster than the Battle of the Bands in Houston. Just so you know, on the high school level, it's
High
like that
school.
in Houston and in Dallas. So
Okay.
that might be something to put in your pocket
Yeah,
for a year or two
that's
down the
about it.
way. You know. So yeah, but again, I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
We've been on here for 42 minutes, so I'm a little bit above my time, but I want to be a good steward of time, and I want to respect your time and also
Appreciate it.
our people that have been enjoying us in the audience. Have anything that you want to share with everyone before we end the show?
Hey man, we just appreciate everybody that's been supporting us over the years. NationalBalletBands.com to get all the information you need about the event. We're gonna have something exciting. We're gonna be announcing at the event, so make sure you're there to hear it. But National Ballet Bands is doing great things. We impacted youth all across the country, and we're excited about what we're doing here in Houston. So come out August 23rd to the NRG Stadium and just be a part of that kickoff weekend to the fall.
Thank you, Jabari Morgan, for hanging with the band heads. It's your boy J Law. Out of here. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
Peace.